Welcome to the show and happy International Women's Month.
Women have always had, the intelligence, the drive, the initiative, the talent.
What made you successful to the woman you are today?
Some people optimize a career along maybe compensation, maybe recognition. I was optimizing along where could I learn something.
It's been an amazing journey of discovering how innovation and technology can be applied in so many industries.
What really our mission as a business is to really empower that next generation and to set the right example that you can really have a successful career while raising your family and that you don't have to make the choice between the two.
Now, let's get back to business and try to solve negosyo problems with your expertise and your experience. According to a study, around 40 to 50% of new businesses close down due to lack of financing, insufficient profitability, and multiple responsibilities. And this happens more often among women-owned businesses. Let's talk about the financial aspect first. Carla, since you work closely with our MSMEs, so what's your observation on their access to formal funding and financial services?
Definitely very, very limited. They don't have regular access to formal credit. So they're also unaware of how to get proper funding from banks and traditional institutions. On the flip side, our traditional institutions have also not properly modernized. So they also are not serving this market who deserve or actually would need the help the most. And that's why the natural tendency for MSMEs is to rely on friends and families, informal lenders, and all that, which then doesn't help the cycle.
Thank you for that. And Bela, Edamama was what we will call a pandemic baby, a pandemic business. What are the difficulties you have had when, in terms of raising up funds to support the business?
I think first is as you go through the levels in any fundraising discussion, you find less and less women in the room. For a business like ours, which is very centered around serving mothers and understanding the pain points of that journey, right? That kind of felt intimidating at times for me because I felt like there was not necessarily always an inherent understanding of the pain points and the size of the opportunity. I think that would be one. I think secondly, the one part of entrepreneurship that I think we are most unprepared for is fundraising. And this is true even when you look at how we negotiate salaries in the workplace, right? It's like it's wrong to ask for more, right? And I felt that dynamic was also unfolding in fundraising discussions where you're conscious about how to have those negotiations, and it's uncomfortable. And nothing prepares you for that. It's not something you can learn in a textbook. You kind of have to learn it through experience.
Yeah, that's true. And how do you help these businesses to grow? I want to ask Minette and then Carla later on.
So when you talk about financial, the obvious thing is we make investments. Venture capital, it addresses the highest risk asset class. It's the capital that you put in before there is a product, before there is revenue, before there is profit. And we put money in on the basis of faith in the founder and conviction about their business plan. So that's the obvious thing. I think the less obvious thing is we try and help founders understand what the fundraising process is going to be like. Certainly before the pandemic, for us, for me, it was important to breathe the same air. So, pupunta ako sa mga warehouse, kakausapin ko yung mga customer nila, kakausapin ko yung mga merchants nila. So, it's important to get a feel very directly. But also, we teach them how to pitch. We teach founders how to structure a cap table. So those kinds of conversations, as Bela said, you only learn by living through it.
That's a lot of educational process throughout the journey, right? And what about you, Carla? How do you help them?
So for the MSMEs, what we've learned is that there in every business, there's really a story behind it. And that's what's most inspiring. But in the journey of helping them, it's also understanding at which stage they're at already. We have under Capitan.ph, which is enablement digital solutions partner for MSMEs under 917 Venture. We were able to first understand one business that had a concept but didn't know how to go to market. So then guiding, enabling that business owner, a woman, she came from a corporate background and now is ready to set her own path. And then we were able to identify what solutions would be a good fit, get you to your first customer, and then test and learn. It is so learning through experience, learning through experimentation, I think is very important because helping is also a journey. And we've seen that with the SMEs as well.
If I may, Francis, I'd also like to share from the perspective of nonprofit organizations like ours. When I came in 10 years ago, they were heavily dependent on donations and all of that. So when I came in, I think one of the things that I imparted to the organization is you have to run your nonprofit as if you are running a business. And it's very frequent now that there are a lot of advocacy-based businesses, right? You really have to have the fundamentals in place so that you can sustain your passion and sustain your advocacy.
But of course, aside from managing business and work, most women are also managing homes as mothers. And because of all these challenges, for some female entrepreneurs, the hardest thing to do is sustaining the business. And the easiest thing to do is to just close it. So, Carla, have you come across some female entrepreneurs who experience this?
So there are several female entrepreneurs also across several stages, whether they're already growing, established, or further in their innovation journey, right? And several factors. One is, of course, what's glaring is access to more funding. That is part of the journey, and I think a very difficult part. Second is the inability to innovate further. And so the tendency is, what's next? I'm stuck, so might as well take a pause. But I've also seen some women entrepreneurs who, instead of completely shutting it down, the tendency is to pause and pivot. And it's great to see that, especially now that there's more solutions out there, there are more capabilities and talent and empowerment that's being showcased. And women have the tendency and tenacity to really keep going. So that's what we've also been seeing more of.
And given that all of you are wearing so many hats, can you share with us the challenge you face while, juggling multiple roles and perhaps Mona, you might want to share some ideas, and then Bela, you can answer that one afterwards.
So I've always thought of myself as a slash, I call it. Because I'm not just a mom, I'm not just a sister, I'm not just a daughter, I'm also a business owner, I'm also, a dancer. I'm also a content creator. And I'm the national president of this NGO. And that's not just me, I'm so many things. So being the slashes that we are, we have to find a way to get organized in our heads so that we have the priorities up front and the other things in the background, if not eliminate them altogether.
And Bela?
I think I would say the challenge is just learning how to pace yourself. I think because my kids are still very young, I want to drop them to school in the mornings. I then want to find time to exercise. Then I want to get to work. And then, I put a lot of burden on myself to try to come home and cook. So I think I'm learning to really just pace myself, because what ends up happening in those scenarios for a lot of us is we neglect ourselves. And we put a very unfair sort of standards on ourselves to sort of constantly be busy. And so I really have to pace myself, because this journey is, it's not short term. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
and with a lot of things on your plate, how do you manage your home without compromising your family and then your work responsibilities, Mona?
I rely heavily on tools, digital tools, especially now. Everything is on my phone. If I lose my phone, I can find it on another, on my computer. And all of these, to be quite honest, really keep me organized so that I don't need to forget things like my husband's birthday ever again.
And what about you, Bella? You'd like to share?
So we use a lot of tools internally to automate a lot of our processes so that there's less work to be done overall. A lot of focus on processes so that decision making is easier. I'm so fortunate that we get to work with even tools like M360 of Globe, which is an excellent example of being able to automate how you communicate and maintain relationships with your customers. So I think that's really, really key to a lot of us who are leading businesses today.
So this is it. So once again, let's open the floor for questions. And it's time to ask her for anything you have in mind.
Hi, I'm Dre. So I run a curly hair care brand, and I don't have any business background. When I started 3 years ago, I've been self-funding my business. I've come to a point where I can't fund or scale anymore just using my own money. So my question is for Miss Carla. Is self-funding better than taking out loans? And if not, what lending institutions can you recommend for MSMEs like me?
So first is congratulations that you're on this journey. It's amazing to hear that you are growing your own brand and business. So big congratulations to you. First is on being able to assess, at which stage should you be ready for funding, right? So it is also highly dependent on how you'd want to grow and at which stage you're growing at, right? Because self-funding can only take you so much, right? But it's very important that you have a clear plan on how you're going to be using the next stage or the next set of funding you will gain access to. It's a tool to help you grow rather than inhibit you. So have a very clear plan. It's very important. Now, where can you find the right type of funding? So there are platforms now like Fundspace.ph that are in partnership with key financial institutions who can give you good rates for as low as 1.9%. So one way to do it is continue your research, reach out to platforms like Fundspace, and then there are also a lot of communities. Especially online, you can find these communities that can guide you as well on your funding journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laika, and I'm also a business owner. This question is for Miss Bella. Actually, I'm 30 years old now, and I want to do a lot of things for my business. I got a lot of pressure from my mom and relatives. They say Laika, you are getting older. You should start a family now. You should have a child. And this is my question: how do you respond to those people who pressure you?
I run away from them. No, hi, Laika. Nice to meet you. I really relate to your journey. Believe it or not, I went through the same with my mom, except that when I turned 25, in your case 30, I was keen to pursue graduate studies, and my mom thought it was the worst idea in the world, and she wanted me to settle down. I think it's, at the end of the day, it is a universal fact that your parents always want the best for you. So it always comes from a very good place. But I would say nothing is more powerful than your own inner voice. You know what's best for you. And I think parents come around, when it comes to pressure from parents, I think you always take it with a grain of salt and try to see the good in it because they always want the best for you. But I think pressure from other sources, I think that's where it's very important to know what your values are, know what your inner mission is, have that very clear compass of following your path. And today we're so fortunate to live in a time where you don't have to follow those conventional paths anymore. You know, there's no definition of success that is cookie cutter. So, you know, continue to chase your dreams, and hopefully you make your mom happy still along the way. And I'm sure that when she sees you fulfilled, that will be enough for her.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much to everyone who participated in our Q&A session. Pero dito sa At Your SerBiz, learning never stops. Kaya naman, diretso po tayo sa ating much-awaited segment called Negosyantips. So, Minette and Bela, what Negosyantips do you have for entrepreneurs looking to start and expand their business naman, Minette?
I always say, start small, scale fast, and underneath all of that, you dream big. And maybe the dream big doesn't really need much conversation. You know, you want to be the biggest this, you want to be a medium-sized this. You define your own dream, and it's not someone else's. And then you start very small. You run experiments. You test your product or your service. You see if it works. Gusto ba nila to? Babayaran ba to? And then when you learn something and when you see that something is taking off, maraming bumibili at may bumabalik. So repeat purchase is so important. That's the time you try to grow and expand. Kasi minsan yung pagkakamali is people who try to grow too fast, too soon. When the product maybe isn't yet ready or when the customers don't really understand it. And so parang dream big, start small, run the experiments, and then scale fast.
Thank you. Thank you for that, and Bella.
Yeah, I'll comment on the start and expand part separately. On starting, I've seen a lot of men start businesses that are not aligned with their personal mission, but they're doing it because they want the big exit or they see a massive opportunity. But really, their heart is not in it, right? But I have never come across a female founder that has not pursued something that came from a very personal place, personal mission. And so I would encourage all women, we're on the topic of International Women's Month, if you are looking to pursue an entrepreneurial path, please choose something that you truly believe will not look like work to you in 5 years, right? Because the journey is a roller coaster. You're going to have really good days. You're going to have really bad days. And so what will keep you grounded in those moments is, am I really doing something that is truly a personal mission for me? Am I passionate about the space? Is it really my calling in life, right? In terms of expansion of your business, I would say be really careful whose advice you buy. I think as we grow our businesses, we tend to think it has outgrown us as individuals and that we have a ceiling in terms of our skills and our capabilities. Do not outsource fundraising. Do not outsource managing your key stakeholders, right? You got to stay super hands-on and you got to learn as you go. So if there's a topic that you're not confident in, build the confidence. Seek the people that can teach you how to build a cap table, right? How to think through financial modeling, how to manage difficult conversations at work. Don't outsource these responsibilities because as an entrepreneur, as a founder, you really have to have ownership every single day of running your business.
And that's one way also of saying business is personal. Yeah. And Mona and Carla, what tip would you want to give our viewers and to every woman watching to achieve tuloy-tuloy in success no matter what role they pursue? And Mona, can we start with you?
So for all the women out there, no matter what role they're in, whether they are homemakers, whether they are corporate giants, I think the most important thing that we should aspire for is to be genuine. We should not try to mimic the successes of others because we are very unique. Our situations are very unique. And the only thing really that we can bring into this is our passion, our skill, our knowledge, and most of all, fundamentals, whether that is in our belief system, whether it is in our knowledge of business. You have to come in with the right toolkit, and you'll get there.
For me, it's also realizing that success comes in many forms. It also doesn't come overnight. And success to one person doesn't necessarily mean it's your version of success as well. So as women, as we go through our very unique journeys, and it's different for each and every one of us, it's also the ability to know that you're on a journey to learn, you're on a journey to fail, and you're actually on a journey to bounce back, bounce up stronger. And it's all a matter of being able to go through all that and identify the right solutions and support you'll need. Because it's out there, it's a matter of really building it up for yourself.
Yes, yes. Maraming salamat sa inyo mga Negosyantips, and I'm sure there's a lot of our viewers are learning so much from you. One thing, if I'll try to synthesize everything that we have learned, being a woman doesn't make you inferior in that field of entrepreneurship endeavor. As a matter of fact, you have advantages too. And you might have heard of this already. Behind every successful woman is a tribe of other successful women who have her back and are cheering her on. And so we can really say that it's true. So maraming salamat for being an inspiration to women everywhere. Everyone, let's give a round of applause to all these amazing women. And please go ahead and invite everyone to connect with you and become part of your community, Bella.
So I invite all aspiring moms, dads, parents to come and experience Edamama. We started as a pandemic business, so we were online, but we recently became an omni-channel brand. So we opened our first store in SM South Mall just a week ago. So please come and support us. We'd love to see you at our stores, or you can visit us online at edamama.ph or download our app.
Thank you, Bella. Minette.
Maybe there are women in the audience who are curious about technology, who want to learn a little bit more about startups or meet founders like Bela. Look up Kickstart Ventures online. It's kickstart.ph. Find out when we have Raid the Fridge, and sign up and join and come and make friends.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And Carla, you might want to and invite them to join your community as well.
So us in 917 Ventures, we are extremely passionate about supporting, empowering, and enabling entrepreneurs in every stage of the journey. So with Capitan.ph and fundspace.ph, if you need any guidance, enablement solutions, even funding, these are all opportunities that are open for every entrepreneur across different stages.
That's great. Thank you. And Mona, now I know you dance, right? So you can enjoy your...
Not on TikTok, no. So please follow me on any of the social media platforms that I'm on. If you are a mother with a child with autism, please connect with us at the Autism Society Philippines. We are also on the various social media platforms. If you are a company, big or small, and you want to support the disability sector, please join the Angels Walk for Autism on April 16. And we are there to prove that the Philippines is genuinely autism okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Once again, thank you very much. And thank you so much for your contribution today. And here we go. Oh, I get flowers too. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And of course, I want to thank you to our negosyantito and negosyantita for making this part of your journey to business success. And to the team behind At Your SerBiz, Thank you so much. This episode is brought to you by Globe Business M360. With M360, you can engage your customers better with multi-channel messaging, customized sender ID, SMS polls, and two-way messaging. To celebrate our womenpreneurs, Globe Business is offering a free trial of the newest M360 Web DIY, which starts at 299 pesos. And this plan gives you a combined inbound and outbound SMS allowance of 1,500 and one personalized sender ID. To try this solution, you may scan the QR code being flashed on the screen now to sign up. And learn more about it and our other products by visiting the website www.globe.com.ph/business/SME. At para atin ang tuloy-tuloy na success, please don't forget to share this episode and subscribe to Globe Business YouTube channel. And that's it. See you again on our next season. And let's have another heart-to-heart conversation. I am Francis Kong at
Your SerBiz.